Alright, so once again, we're going into Game 2 of Slayers Arthur versus the TheStC. Spawning in the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have our red Protoss player, Slayers Arthur. And spawning in the northwest spawning position, we have our blue Terran, who's up 1 game at this point, the TheStC. Now, we're seeing some fairly solid play out of the TheStC. He is making a few mistakes with the supply blocks, not really macroing it as to the best of his ability. I mean, we've seen him put on some great games thus far, so I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled out his A game this time. And then we have the Slayers Arthur, who is down 1 game at this point, and he really needs to take this if he intends to continue on to win that $100 prize. If he wins this, that's going to push us to a Game 3, and that means that he has the opportunity to go forth and actually win this tournament. So once again, first prize is $100, and second prize is going to be $25. And we'll see which player comes out ahead. So, a little bit about this map. We have 1 Zelnaga Watchtower in the middle. That doesn't cover all attack paths, as you can move this way, up and around, and actually across this side. We do have these bushes here to even hide even further if you want to do something a little bit sneaky. These are close by air positions as far as this map is concerned. We don't have cross positions. So, drop play is definitely a possibility. Now, what's interesting about this map is where the players are going to have to expand to. We have this base right over here is the natural of one opponent, while over here, this base is going to be the natural of the other opponent. So, both players are actually going to have to expand their naturals towards their opponent, which is always a dangerous thing to do, especially in the case of a Protoss player going up against a Terran player. In fact, we already see Slayers Arthur preparing for this kind of a thing by throwing this pylon down over in the corner of his base. Now, interestingly, it looks like that Slayers Arthur decided to try to go straight across. He must have thought that this was cross positions only, and he is actually going to scout the correct base after that. Perhaps this is close by air or cross positions only, so that you can't actually spawn here. That'd be interesting. I don't think that's the case, but I could be wrong. We see 1 gas go down, we have Zealot coming out, and Cybernetics Core on the way. That probe really didn't get up into the base. That Marine was right there to take care of it. And the TheStC, instead of going for that command center first, he doesn't really want to do anything too risky. He's going to go ahead and do the 1 rack gasless fast expand, as you'd expect out of a Terran player at this point, especially on a map this big. A lot of the tournament maps at this point have been really lending themselves to macro play more than anything else, which I really like, because those macro games are really where the strategic interest comes in StarCraft. Now, Slayers Arthur, sticking on this 1 base, grabbing his 2nd gas, he's chrono boosting out his warp gate at this point instead of letting it sit. It looks like he's going to be putting on this aggression once again. He really wants to get out there on the map. He already has his Zealot out. His Stalker's just checking around, seeing for any proxy racks because he didn't see anything to his opponent's base. And, I imagine a probe's going to be coming out sometime soon, because if he's chrono boosting that warp gate research, oh yeah, here we go, 2 more gateways going down again. It looks like he's going for the exact same build. It didn't work last time. Is it going to work now? Slayers Arthur not really wanting to mix things up. The TheStC going for it, supply blocking himself fairly significantly, actually relying on the command center to come down to actually provide himself more supply. He's going for those 2 extra racks. You'll find that Terran players have a few different options when they're going for expansion builds. They can get down 2 more racks, 3 more racks, or 4, for a total of 3, 4, or 5. If they're going for that 5, they're going to be pretty much all in. They can actually throw down a 6th one, and they should be able to support it. But if you see, oh, look. Oh, my God. He is throwing down this pylon. Anyway, if you see a Terran player going for a couple fewer racks, he's going to be opting to tech up, and that's kind of what we see the TheStC doing. Of course, he does see the Stalker. He has plenty of Marines out right now. He should be throwing down a bunker. I think he knows exactly what's coming. He knows what's coming out of his opponent. Actually, an SCV getting brought out right now. This bunker is full. There are Marines out to tank some damage. Oh, beautiful! Cycling one of those full health Marines out. And putting the lesser Marine back in the bunker. in every way, the STC has this advantage. This is a map, a build that you would, it's not that surprising to have seen on the previous map, getting just enough vision to warp onto the high ground, which means that these stalkers are going to be able to move around the side and do some damage, but all the STVs are off the line and immediately going for that, towards those bunkers. So these stalkers are going to have to put on whatever damage that they can right here. It looks like this bunker might be able to finish. A lot of these Marines are out. The STC has to consider bringing out more Marines so that he can actually deal with this, because with every warp on the high ground, these bunkers become less and less and less effective. Now six stalkers on the high ground. A few Marines are coming out trying to do what damage they can, but stalkers actually outrange Marines. So that first bunker does go down. The second bunker is still up. The STC scrambling to throw down more bunkers to try to hold off this aggression, is the STC going to let his opponent take this command center? He will not be able to do that. It's not actually going to be on fire before it floats off. Third bunker coming up. The second bunker gets canceled with barely 1 health left. So we do have quite a few units on the ground with just a couple of these sentries. One coming forward to try to force field off that ramp, actually unable to do that. Just now force fielding to keep that to keep the repair off of that bunker. Of course, there is one bunker left, and these SCVs are stuck behind the other one in that force field, so the second bunker will go down. Slayer's Arthur just looking more and more scary as more and more weapons come in. The STC knows that these bunkers that he has down are not going to be able to do it. That's going to bring us to 1-1 at this point. That means that we're going to be going into Game 3 to see who goes on to the Grand Finals.